What a story this is turning out to be tonight.
The teacher's political statements and actions came under scrutiny because of a video recently produced by
Project Veritas.
The video apparently shows a teacher
pushing politics on his students.
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
How do you do that? How do you scare the out of them?
Dozens of frustrated parents and community members showed up at a school board meeting demanding action from board members.
What has been exposed about Gabriel Geip by Project Veritas is exactly what I was concerned about happening.
I got this video this morning, and let me tell you, I'm not shocked.
The brave Project Veritas reporter who came to alert the school of child abuse that's happening.
We need to know what you're going to do to protect our rights and our children in the future.
He is putting her in harm's way. What the hell are y'all doing? He was allowed to change my daughter's mind about some fascist crap that y'all have let in this school.
The Natoma School District is now taking steps to fire the teacher,
making an official decision to fire him.
Now, yet another explosive take tonight from Project Veritas exposing fake news, CNN's abuse of bias. You don't have to take my word for it. Just listen to a CNN staffer in his own words.
We were creating a story there that we didn't know anything about. So I think that's probably it.
Look what we did. We got Trump out. I am 100% going to say it. And I 100% believe it. And if it wasn't for CNN, I don't know that Trump would have got voted out.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear? Like, climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells.
No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious.
You cannot like talk about this. It's not in public.
Government doesn't want to show that the darn vaccine is full of shit.
Would you get them vaccinated?
I don't think they need it.
Honestly, I don't think a kid needs to get it.
Your antibodies are probably better at that point than the vaccination.
I'll get the vaccinated.
I didn't tell you no. I didnidn't tell you no.
Keep track of everyone that's been vaccinated.
There needs to be a registry of the people who aren't vaccinated. Think about it like the Jewish Star.
Jody O'Malley is the HHS whistleblower. This should be the #1 news story on the planet.
A colleague at your hospital who got sick.
She didn't want to take it because of her religious beliefs, and she was coerced into taking it.
Facebook uses classifiers in their algorithms to determine certain content to be what they call vaccine hesitant. I have to do something. I have to do something about it because this is not a world I want my kids to live in, where they call it vaccine hesitancy, and without the user's knowledge, they assign a score to these comments. Look at this, like showing her these documents, and I was like, I have to do something about this. I have to bring this to Project Veritas. Like, I know this is the right thing to do.
Explosive new video from Project Veritas.
Project Veritas recently released an interview with a whistleblower from Pfizer.
They're withholding knowledge on people's approval if they can consent or not.
Vanessa Gelman, Senior Director of Worldwide Research.
From the perspective of corporate affairs, we want to avoid having the information on the fetal cell lines floating out there.
And based on that score, will demote or leave the comment alone.
The apparent theft of the president's daughter, Ashley Biden's diary. The New York Times reporting the FBI Saturday searched the home of James O'Keefe.
Imagine a pre-dawn raid, waking from a dead sleep in sheer terror to men with guns.
And there were 10 FBI agents with a battering ram.
Who uses a battering ram on the home of a journalist?
They turned me around, handcuffed me.
Even if a journalist acquires a piece of information and the person who gave it to them, a third-party person, got it illegally, the journalist has a right to publish it.
Would this be an FBI investigation if it weren't the daughter of the president?
I don't know. I don't know whether this would be an investigation or not if it didn't involve the president's children.
This is totally third world, and it's an attack on press freedom.
They are a news organization, and they should be treated as such.
And how about the ACLU finally stepping up? The FBI's raid on James O'Keefe is a threat to press freedom. Professor Dershowitz?
I'm glad they did it. I hope they continue to do it. It was the wrong thing to do, to raid.
The information from the raid leaks to the New York Times is being sued by Project Veritas.
We were getting a lot of briefings from CIA, from FBI about the spread of misinformation.
Before we get to that story, I want to let you, the viewers, know that Fox Corp has been muzzling me. I am going to be releasing some recordings. Found a nonprofit journalism group called Project Veritas. It's going to put that out tomorrow, so tune into them. But as for this heat wave across Texas, you can see what it's...
Story of a Fox Corp owned and operated station in Houston that is under the national spotlight. One of their reporters told their viewers that Fox Corp has been muzzling her.
That she had to go public, and she did it in a great way.
She went rogue, remember, on live TV.
She's preparing to speak out against her own networks.
If you're going to do something like that, you got to do what she did. You got to be all in.
And she
was all in, okay?
So there is this major media hive. And if you step out of line, they all point at you in the same direction and they fire their lasers at you.
But my first guest tonight is helping to blaze the way. And thank God for journalists like her and Ivory Hecker, who we had on the program last week. And let's not forget our friends at Project Veritas. I want you to take a look at what April did live on her network affiliate in Detroit this past Sunday.
I will be sitting down this week with Project Veritas to discuss the discrimination that CVS is enforcing upon its employees. Tune in to Project Veritas for my full story. Now, later Monday, we will see those showers.
I don't want to destroy the news. I don't want anybody to get fired. I want people to change and realize that they are supposed to be objective.
I challenge you to stop thinking in terms of objective journalism, and we'll discuss why that's not really feasible anymore.
I don't really care if people trust us or not. You still got to do your job. So, I mean, that's the least of my concerns, whether they trust me or not.
Wouldn't they want to be trusted?
To me, that seems like that's part of the job. That you need trust to be able to do your job. Your job is to inform. And if you can't trust who you're getting that news from, you're not doing your job.
My name is David Johnson. I'm a packaging engineer for Hasbro.
They're claiming that this is a, quote, false claim by us. Your response to this statement released today?
I would like to know how showing a video of their own words with them speaking on video is a false statement or is deceptive.
I decided to come to Project Veritas because I opposed the indoctrination of children that they wanted to push.
Project Veritas exposed another creep at CNN.
Yet another producer, Rick Salibi, at CNN, we've exposed...
The nature of this audio, the nature of what you're listening to here, is some of the sickest stuff I've ever heard.
His name is Rick Salibi. I'm going to say that again. Rick Salibi.
This is proving that CNN could care less about who they employ over at that sinking ship of a network.
He was fantasizing about a 14-year-old girl, and he was asking for pictures of her 15-year-old daughter and saying things I can't speak into the microphone.
And that was her daughter?
Yeah.
So there's actually two that he's talking about. One is her daughter and one is somebody else's.
So he thinks because you sent me money, you're going to get a nude photo of me and my daughter. Are you insane?
He's asked for nude pictures of your 15-year-old daughter?
Yep, mom and daughter pics. He always says mom and daughter pics.
Hey, Rick, I'm a reporter with Project Veritas. What do you have to say about your recent accusations against crimes against children? Do you still work for CNN, Rick? Rick, do you still work for CNN? Do you have any comments, sir? No, sir. Once again, we ask the questions, and they run away.
Last night, most of our staff were excitedly watching a stream of the board meeting in Sacramento, California, with indignant parents on the verge of tears after we exposed an Antifa teacher who, it was announced, was going to be fired. We were so excited we barely noticed the floodwaters and the torrential downpour outside of our doors. When we walked outside at 10 or 11 o'clock, some of our employees found their vehicles surrounded by 3 feet of water. We do appreciate the support and funding to continue. We are, after all, a non-profit organization. We appreciate the flood of tips and whistleblowers coming to us even today. We are still in the field, many of us working on many stories. We appreciate the prayers and all of your support. We were going to release our next story early next week. We might be delayed another week as we dig through our wreckage, salvage what we can, and rebuild our infrastructure. We are a very resilient organization, but perhaps the most resilient people of any organization anywhere. And we often find ourselves rising like a phoenix out of the ashes repeatedly over the last decade.